The story of VitaSafe as an energy conservation device from fridges began in 2014 when the nation was facing acute power shortages. Consulted my 1994 project. The project was on energy conservation here in USA for the House of Residents. I consulted this project, and then I realized that fridges only need 12 hours and everything in them could be preserved. A classmate of mine called Andrew Etwire, I approached him because I can't remember that his project work was on a fridge guard. So as a process control and instrumentation engineer myself, I know that when we add timer to your fridge guard, it can help conserve energy. And then quickly we again contacted one of our mates by name Tulitake. And so I approached Mr. Kofi Agyapong. It wasn't long when the Energy Commission launched the Switch Your Fridge Off campaign during the World Cup. You can come out with this device, just a timer, which can help switch fridges off, especially during the peak hours. And when we sent this one, it was without protection, and so I gave it to Mr. Kofi Agyapong, some samples for them to test, and we realized that within a week or 2 weeks or so, because of the unstable nature of power, the device itself was being blown apart, and it was affecting fridges, just as we all witnessed. And so I approached Andrew and then Tulitake, and then we said that why not let us add the protection, that is over voltage and under voltage, but especially with the fridges it could have been protection against under voltage, but we decided that we wanted a unique product, and so we added the over voltage.
I discovered some few flaws that needed to be corrected, so he went back to his engineering desk to work on it.
The problem is that because of the load shedding, a fridge which was scheduled, which has been programmed to come on after 6 p.m., the device will switch it off because the device has been programmed that way, and so it will compromise the food security within the fridges. And so I went back to Andrew and then Tulitake, and then we came out with an intelligent one with this specific feature, the FO that you see on it, that is force on. Now with this facility, if the device has been programmed to go off by 6 p.m., because of this force on facility, it will force the fridge to come on at 6 p.m. and it can operate for up to about 6 hours. By so doing, we could compensate for the loss.
And I thought that this was very good. So as the focal point of ECRI, that is ECOWAS Center for Renewable and Energy Efficiency, I suggested it to the Executive Secretary, which he also embraced.
And so this product became very unique in the sense that it's not only a timer, it has over voltage and under voltage. Because of the doom shock, we had another facility that we call the smart grid type. That one we were developing it for either VRA or ECG, so that anyone who is using this one, they can switch off the fridge from a central point.
So in fact, it is even on the ECOWAS table, because we think that it is something that can help the entire sub-region in managing our demand side when it comes to electricity.
Unique product, and by the grace of God, when it was introduced to the ECOWAS Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, acronym ECRI, they accepted it and brought out a certificate to say that this is a product that is going to help the sub-region in terms of what we call demand side money. During peak hours, most countries need a standby generator. It will cost not less than $600 million to have a thermal plant of that capacity. But with this VitaSafe, within 4 months, it will be available for all fridges to use them, and we could conserve that energy. Now we've tested it. Our intention is actually to ensure that we begin to assemble them here in order to create jobs for our team in youth, and then we're going to train a lot of people within certain areas that can also support all those who will be using the VitaSafe device. Because of its overvoltage protection, which can protect our televisions and our stereo systems and things like that, in particular for television, you can use this one to regulate the kind of programs that your children can watch. And so it's something that most parents are actually falling for in order to regulate their children. Any program that you want to watch, we've programmed this device, and as soon as it is on, it means that you can go and watch television.